All right. So today we are going to talk about what's new in wireless. Some of you already know all about wireless. There is a lot of things which have happened in the last few years. And so what's happening is what it is about. Now, everything in the world is following Moore's law. Everybody knows Moore's law? Right? So, which means that it doubles every 18 months. Okay? And the reason it doubles is because of the hardware. The Intel and everybody else, and this Moore is the Intel's president or ex-president. And so he observed from his own company's progress that every 18 months they double the speed. So he said that, basically he said that several years ago, that every 18 months we double the speed, and that has become a law. Okay? And they have followed it. So every 18 months, by straight line, you can see hardware, software, all the technologies are following that. Right? So the wireless, if you want to go do nothing else, it will become faster simply because the hardware is faster. Computer will become faster because hardware is faster. And then we will come up with some new things that will make it even faster. Alright, now I am coming to what is happening in the mobile world. Now all this is brand new. Every year I have to do this one in particular. Cisco comes up with a forecast. They are in the business of networking. So they come up with a forecast for the next 5 years. So in 2014 they did this 2019, and I was surprised that they don't have a 2015 one, and we are in 2016 already. So 2014 to 19 is the latest one. That's why I redlined this. So everything when I say next 5 years, that meant next 4 years or 3 years, something like that, because this is 2014. So you don't have to remember, for the example, with all the percentages and things like that, but what I'm trying to say here is, and I have tried to minimize the percentages, is that just to know the trends, where the world is going. Okay? If it is going up and you think it is going down, then we are in trouble. Right? So remember that part. Right? So, IP traffic, they measured it. And actually, this is the summary of all the other forecasts that they could find in the industry. So they subscribe to Gartner, they subscribe to other people, and they put it together, some of their own measurements with this report. So this is kind of, I should use the word Bible, for the rest of the industry to follow for that year. So the companies have to decide how much money to spend where and what to do, what products and all that. So we look at these kind of trends. So global IP traffic, it increased 5x in the last 5 years, and it will increase 3x in the next 5 years, according to them. Now, again, next nobody has seen, but this is their forecast because it is going too fast, and they think that it will somehow slow down. I would not be surprised if it becomes 5x, or maybe it becomes 7x, who knows, right? So, another way of saying this 3x is 23% compound annual growth rate. So if you do 1.23 raised to 5, can somebody do 1.23 raised to 5 and see how much number comes out? I think that should come out to 3 or 5, one of the two numbers. 1.23, 23% every year, right? So 1.23 raised to 5. Times 5 is already 6. Come on. 3.15? 1.23 raised to 5 is? 2.815. Okay, 2.8. So 3x. Basically 23% is the correct number, 3x is approximate. Alright? However, now this traffic is not the same for all the time, for all the places, for all the kinds of things, right? So now we are going to break it down into pieces. So first of all, by time, busy hour traffic is different than other hours traffic, right? So when we design a network, when we put a network, we don't put it for the average traffic. If you put the network, if you design the network, if you design your building for average traffic, you would be really unhappy, right? But you cannot design for the worst case either. So what we do is we try to design it for a busy hour kind of thing, so that we are not really the worst case, but we are somewhere where we can afford it too. So busy hour traffic is going to grow by 3.4x in the next 5 years. So instead of 3 to 3.4, yeah.
So what time of day is that referred to?
Yeah. So busy hour actually is coming up in the next slide. So what I have is 12 key points from that report. And by the way, I would like you, all of you, to download that report and read it in full. Okay? And so you will find the same information there. But I have taken some key points and put it in the first slide. And then I have one slide on each of these. So I will show you the same thing graphically. So what time of the day that is? That is basically the prime time when most of the people will watch video. So what is the prime time for TV? Anybody knows?
After working hours?
Yeah, after 5 o'clock, between 5 and 8. So somewhere there is a busy hour. Prime time. Okay? Mobile data traffic will increase. Now there is a mobile and station. So this IP traffic, right? IP includes both wired and wireless. So now we will go into mobile. That will increase 10x. So your phone traffic is going to go up much faster than the wired traffic. The connections don't even work here anymore. So the thing is 10x. So if you really want to, if you are at a networking company and you want to put your money, would you put it on the wired networks or put it on the wireless networks? Right? That's the kind of questions people are asking. Business and home. Business traffic will go only by 2x, so it is less increase. Now let me just say one more thing. This is not the whole story, because sometimes this access can fool you, because when you say 2x, it's the rate at which they are growing, but you don't know how much money there is. Right? Because there could be 2x of 100,000 is different than 5x of 1,000. Right? So these are all marketing numbers. And so, but business traffic is not growing because they're not watching TV. They're not doing anything that people are doing. All right? So there are different markets. There are different, this one, and the business is less. Metro and long haul. Now we go into the distance. Okay? So metro is a city. Long haul is intercity. Metro is 2/3 and long haul is 1/3. So of the whole IP traffic, 2/3 is going into the same city, 1/3 is going out of the city. So it's like local call versus long distance calls, or local internet versus long distance internet, whatever you want to call it. So there is most of the traffic stays local. And how does that change anything? Well, if things are going to stay local, then it is better to have a local cache of everything, because you don't want to really have every web page come from San Francisco. You might as well have a copy here, because that will save you a lot. Right? So metro traffic and long haul traffic. Metro traffic will go faster than long haul traffic. It is already high and will grow traffic. And it is because of the CDNs. What is a CDN? Content Distribution Network. So basically, when we realize that most of if you go to the original website for everything, it will take quite a bit of time. So they made copies of the website and put it everywhere. So today, if you are a Bank of America, or if you are a small company, or even a Washington, I'm sure, you don't put your website in one place. You give it to a CDN. You call what is the name of the company? CDN company. Anyway, you call them and you give them your page, and they will put it into 1,000 places. Your customers will be very happy. Okay? So that is called Content Distribution Network, basically local caches in every place. And because of that, the traffic has become local. Most of it doesn't go out. Even if you are going to China, you just get the result right here. Right? Because there is a copy right here. CDNs will carry a higher fraction of total traffic. And now CDNs are going to be even more. So they have 63% in 2019 versus 39% in 2014. So more and more CDNs will happen, and that has some effect that we'll talk about too. I mean, even our own research, we are designing networks that will take advantage of this fact, that we want to be local. Over half of IP traffic will originate from non-PC devices. So another thing to know is the PCs are going away. Desktops are already gone. Now, I have been in the computer business for 40 years. When I was studying like you, basically when I did my master's, I worked on, what we call IBM 360s, which was like this whole building was one computer, this big. Okay, and we used to submit a job on the cards, punch cards, come back 2 days later and get the results. That was my master's. When I did my PhD at Harvard, it was a computer as big as this room, DEC 10. Okay, and a luxury here was a luxury that I could basically, there were lots of computers at Harvard, but they were not like this, they were like this room. Okay, and so that was what we called the mainframe era. And then by the time I was working for a mini computer company, digital equipment, and all the mainframe companies like CDC and whatever name you had, they went away. Mini computer. And then came the personal computer, and then the digital went away. And I became a professor. Okay? So the idea is you have to watch out for these things, and you have to move before they do. I did move before they did, by the way. So before they went out of business, all my friends were sold off to other companies, and I was already out. But you have to keep track of what's happening in the industry and be there. If your bosses don't want to be there, you have to be there. Right? So the digital went away because they were in the mini computer business and they never got to the PC business. PCs came in. Now the PCs are going away, and what is coming in? What is coming in? Mobile. Yeah, so okay, you can say tablets and this one and mobile. So you're not using. So the thing is, when PCs came in, they came in as a desktop. They went away. Now we have laptops. I don't know how many of you have a desktop. Okay, so soon you will get rid of it because after this you're not going to buy another one, are you? The thing is, because what does it give you except non-mobility? Yeah.
But I mean, when you say the PC has a more powerful thing than laptops or tablets.
Yeah, right. So the thing is, now they have become mobile because we are mobile. We just use this one. I remember my first lecture using this recording, what we are doing today. Every lecture is being recorded. I did that in 1995 with 3 desktops, this much room here, right here. My TAs were sitting here, recording everything, right? 3 desktops. Can you imagine that now? Now you don't even see anything. So the life is changing. And now I would not be surprised if I could just be putting this here and then recording everything. And I can do that actually, but I'm just not doing it. So the laptops are going to go away. Actually, they are saying that laptops will go away and tablets will come in. However, right at this minute, they are seeing resistance. Like people like me. Yeah.
The thing is, like cloud computing thing is going to be the future.
What computing?
Like cloud computing.
Right. The thing is, so the cloud computing is a totally different topic. And we will talk about that too later on. So when you say is the future, it's the current future. Everything in this slide is current future. So until we come up with something different, right, we cannot see anything beyond. Right? So yes, with that answer, yes. You have a question? Hello?
I was just wondering, over here I can't see anything about stuff like wearables. I know Google Glass got scrapped, but I don't know about in the near future there's still these things right here.
So that is on the top of the hype. So basically, I have a slide on that too, but basically, yeah. So Internet of Things is right now this year at the top of the hype and it's going to the other side. With that curve we saw, that is on the peak. If you were here last year or 2 years ago, if you wanted to start a startup, you would say, I am doing wearables, I am doing IoT, and then you will get a lot of money. Now it is top of the hype, and you might get some money this year, but as it is going to the other side, it will become only Google's thing or some big company's thing. Okay, right now, Samsung and Apple maybe, something like that, Right? So yes. Okay, where I was? I was in the half of the traffic will originate from non-PC devices. So the PCs are going away. All right. 8. Traffic from wireless devices will exceed those from wired. So wired is going away. Even if there is a wire that doesn't even work, that's the situation, nobody complains. Right? Number of devices will be 3 times the population size. Now, we had never thought about it before. Now, if you had asked me, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, or before 2007, we would say, well, 7 billion is the population or 6 billion is the population, that is the number of people that will have the internet. But now everybody has 3 things going on. I have a watch, I have this, I have that. So the population size right now will be 3 times the population size. Devices on the internet. That includes your fridge and everything else, right? So video traffic will be 80% of consumer traffic. So the consumers are consuming mostly video. Businesses are not, right? So nowadays we don't think about anything about watching a TV, a movie on the internet, on the laptop, on the mobile, or even on the TV in my home. So the thing is, everything is basically, coming on the internet. And so video traffic will be 80% of consumer traffic. Millions of minutes of video will cross internet per second. In 1 second, how much video goes? Million minute. That is an interesting thing. Million minutes of video goes in 1 second. So much video. IP traffic's fastest growth rate is in the Middle East and Africa. Growth rate, and I redlined rate because again, otherwise you might think, oh, there is a lot of traffic in Middle East and Africa. There is not much traffic, but it is so small, it's going like this. You see what I mean? Is that, so many places wherever I said 3x or 4x or 5x, the story is only half a story because you have to look at what is in x of. Right? And so the next 12 slides are the same thing. I'm going to say it again so that it gets into your brain forever.